Have you ever felt like this? Like, this book right here is my soul. This was my first time feeling like this. I do read books, but I'm not the reader. I just go for whatever I feel curious at that moment. Whether it's fiction, whether it's non fiction, or any self help book, or whatever it is. I think books make you live the life or make you understand the life which is very different from you, which is you haven't even think about. You cannot even think about. It lets you live a different life from different perspective. That's how books are for me. So the book about which I'm going to talk about today is of the name The Courage to Be Disliked. It is a kind of self-help book, I can say. Yeah, the name itself is very interesting because in today's world, we all are trying to be liked by everyone on every single platform that we have right now, whether it's social media or anything. We just want to be liked by everyone. So let's get to the main video and see what I learned, what I think I felt the most from this book, and what you all can learn from this book. So let's get to it. Welcome. I'm Ritusha, and this is my special space where I talk about my journey of self-discovery, yoga, spirituality, and all the random stuff. And if you are interested in this content, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So before getting to the main part of the video, I want to thank Jayun from NCT for sharing his favorite book and also his fan, because I got to know about his favorite book because of a fan post which was made. Yeah, so yeah, thank you. When I read the title of the book, it was like, oh, it sounds very interesting, and here I am. Here is how I ended up loving the book. So the book is based on the Adlerian psychology. So there are these four great psychological personalities who contributed so much to develop the 20th century psychology. The first one being the William James, the second one Sigmund Freud, third Carl Jung, and Alfred Adler. We all know these three personalities, the first three personalities that I mentioned about, and the fourth one is often omitted. Not exactly omitted, but no one remembers his work. His work is kind of underrated. The book is written by two Japanese authors, Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. The structure of the book is inspired by Socratic dialogue, which is derived from Plato's dialogue, in which Socrates, through conversation, seeks to answer the questions on the meaning of life. Ichiro Kishimi has worked on Adler's psychology. He wanted to be Plato to Adler, and Fumitake Koke wanted to be Plato to Ichiro, and that's how we got this book through their collaboration. It's been, I guess, 2-3 months. I have been trying to find something which fits with my type of thinking, which perfectly fits with what I think about life. And yeah, I found it in this book. It doesn't mean that I don't read books which doesn't fit in my thinking box. I do read books, but I really wanted something which goes with my thoughts. So here are the few lessons and quotes I learned from this book called The Courage to Be Disliked. The first one is, the past does not exist. I have talked about this in my earlier videos too. How do we waste our life, our times, our energies on that which has happened and that which is yet to happen. Life happens here and now. When you live in here and now, you focus on doing what you can do now, honestly and consciously. We are very known with this psychology of Sigmund Freud's etiology, where he says that whatever trauma or the issue that you have right now are the effect of something which has caused you in your early childhood or any past experience that you might be having. But Adler, on the other hand, opposes this idea of etiology and he proposes the idea of teleology, where, in short, if I were to conclude it, he says that the past doesn't define you, who you are right now. The important thing is not what one is born with. The important thing is what use one makes of that equipment that the person has right now. We do not lack ability, we lack the courage. And I also remembers this one quote I heard in one TikTok, and it was, what shapes you cannot break you. The same goes for future. We think we really want to do this, and after that we feel like I'll do it when the time comes. This is a way of living that postpones life. As long as we postpone life, we can never go anywhere and will not pass our days only one after the next in dull monotony, because we think of here and now as just a preparatory period, as a time for patience. We have to start right now at this moment, because here and now should always shine bright. The second is the feeling of inferiority and superiority. Feeling of inferiority has to do with one's value of judgment of oneself. Adler recognizes feeling of inferiority as something everyone has. This feeling of inferiority leads you to pursuit of improvement, which leads to pursuit of superiority. But feeling of inferiority and inferiority complex are two different things. Inferiority complex is when one says things like I can't, I'm not, and when one doesn't have the courage to compensate through healthy modes of striving and growth, when one can't tolerate the inferiority complex of thinking that A is the situation so B cannot be done, one can't accept one's incapable self, and then one tries to act as a superior and indulge in the fabricated feeling of superiority. If one really has confidence in oneself, one doesn't feel the need to boast. The healthy feeling of inferiority is not something that comes from comparing oneself to others, it comes from one's comparison with one's ideal self. Being comrades. The third lesson is being comrades of each other. All of us are different. We should acknowledge as being different in a positive manner. We are not the same, but we are equal. Rather than competing with others or seeing others superior or inferior than you, Adler says you should see each other as comrades and not as enemies. Rather than seeing vertically, we should see ourselves with others horizontally. Adler focuses on interpersonal relationship. According to him, the answer to every social or personal issue and traumas is interpersonal relations. If two people want to live together on good terms, they must treat each other as equal If two people want to live together on good terms, they must treat each other as equal person. If there is competition at the core of a person's interpersonal relation, problems are supposed to arise, misfortunes are supposed to come. At the end of competition, there are winners and losers. Even if you are not loser, even if you are someone who keeps on winning, If you are someone who has placed self in competition, you will never have a moment's peace. You don't want to be a loser, and you always have to keep on winning if you don't want to be a loser. You can't trust other people. It's only when one takes down the lenses of competition and winning and losing that we can begin to correct and change ourselves. The fourth point is the title itself, the courage to be disliked. What other people think of me or what sort of judgment they pass on me is the task of other people, and is not something I can do anything about. I should just do what I have to do in my life without lying. Even if there is a person who doesn't think well of me, I cannot intervene in that. It's the approach of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Even if you try to change someone, and yes, this is applicable to ourselves also, we are the one who has to face our task. We are the one who make resolutions. About this particular thing, Adler has given this concept of separation of tasks. To know deeply about it, you can either read his book or you can read the Adler's works too. When you follow separation of task, it becomes simple to manage our emotions in social life or in any situation. In the book, an example of a situation is given. The mother is angry and scolding her child. In between this moment, she gets a call from her friend, and suddenly her tone changes. She sounds normal, and the phone call ends. Her normal and calm mood again gets angry. So, what is this? If this is the case, then it is proved that we can control, we can have control over our emotions. It is just that we are finding excuses that we do not have control over what we feel. The fifth point is, what is the meaning of life? And Adler was asked about questions like, what is the meaning of life? What are people living for? His answer was, life in general has no meaning. Because to give meaning to something which is filled with different kind of people, it is a subjective matter. If you want to give meaning to your life, and then you must be the one who should give meaning to your life. Even if our lives come to an end here, it would not do to refer it was an unhappy one. The life that ends at the age of 20 and that ends at the age of 90, both are complete lives and live lives of happiness. One has adopted an inertial view of life. Life is always complete. The world is a simple place, and so is life. So yeah, these were some of the points that felt to me and I learned so much from, which I'm going to follow. And I know this book is the Adler psychology is kind of idealistic, but I don't think he stated anything but facts. So I think I recommend this book to everyone. You should give it a try whenever you have the time. If you like this video, then please like, share and comment your views in the comment section below. And for more such videos, stay tuned. Till then, see you.